Hi, boys and girls. Today I'd like you to take out the passage on Rosa Parks. There's a picture of Rosa Parks. And go ahead and pause if you need a few more minutes to get this out. It says directions: read the text and answer the questions below. Rosa Parks is most famous for refusing to give up her seat on a bus. During Ms. Parks' time, there was segregation. That meant that African Americans and white Americans were separate. They were also supposed to be equal, but things were not equal. One day, Ms. Parks was sitting on a crowded bus. She was told that she had to give up her seat to white passengers. Rosa knew that it was unfair, so she refused to move. Rosa was arrested because she wouldn't give her seat to the white passenger. Other people quickly learned of Ms. Parks getting arrested. This caused many people to become angry. They boycotted or quit riding the buses. They quit riding the buses for over a year. The Supreme Court ruled that it was unconstitutional, or not allowed, to have segregation on buses. Rosa's one action caused many changes. So you can go back and reread that if you need to. Question number 1, why is Rosa Parks famous? A, she boycotted the buses. B, she allowed segregation. C, she refused to give up her seat on the bus. D, she ruled that segregation was unconstitutional. And if you look at the first sentence, I'm going to highlight that in the passage because that really gives us the answer to that question. This passage opens with, Rosa Parks is most famous for refusing to give up her seat on the bus. C tells us she refused to give up her seat on the bus. Why did Rosa Parks get arrested? Answer using complete sentences. So we want to restate the question. We want to write, she was arrested for what? And I'm going to go up and I'm going to circle that in the passage. I restated the question. She was arrested for, I circled it right here. And I'm going to finish the sentence down here. Not giving up her seat on the bus. And end it with a period. If you need to pause the video at any time, you can always stop. I started with an uppercase letter, restated the question, answered the question, circled where I found it in the passage, ended with a period. Flipping over. What is not an effect of Rosa refusing to give up her seat? Rosa Parks was arrested. The buses were boycotted for over a year. The Supreme Court ruled segregation on buses was unconstitutional. African Americans had to give up their seats for white Americans. So after she did all of those things, like when she gave up her seat on the bus, and people followed along in her steps to have peaceful demonstrations, to not ride the bus, to boycott the bus, there were some changes made. So this is asking what was not an effect. Not. And the answer would be D. Because after this happened, the court ruled that that was not legal. So the answer would be D. Number 4, Rosa refused to give up her seat on the bus because she knew it was unfair, she was too tired to move, she didn't like standing on the bus, she wasn't going to be on the bus much longer. I'm going to go back in the passage, and I have found the answer, so I'm going to highlight it. It's in the first paragraph. Right here it tells us that she knew it was unfair. So I'm going to go back and choose that answer, that she knew, A, it was unfair. Fill in the empty boxes with an appropriate event. What was the cause? The event they gave us, Rosa Parks was arrested. What was the effect? So what happened first? What caused her to be arrested? And I wrote, she would not give up her seat on the bus, period. Because of that, she was arrested. That was the event. What happened after that? And sometimes it's hard to fit everything in the box. And you might write something a little bit different than what I wrote. That's okay. I wrote, people boycotted the buses. It became unconstitutional. You could write that it went to the Supreme Court and people then all got a seat on the bus. There definitely are different ways we could fill in these boxes. And last, it says, how might life be different if Rosa had moved out of her seat for the white passenger? Answer using a complete sentence. So you want to restate that with life might be different because, and then this is your opinion. How do you think life would be different if Rosa had moved her seat and just decided to stand? She was never arrested. There was never the boycott or the protests. And it didn't go to the Supreme Court. How might things be different today? So that would be your opinion, to write that, and then share with someone at home or in your class.